Well, after promises and certainly a lot of anticipation, Kenya Moore has finally posted her confessionals. I want to break down exactly what she had to say. She goes into a lot of details, you guys, brings the receipts as to what Brit Eady did, and in her words, of course, caused her to retaliate. She does also, well, in some ways, take a little bit of accountability. I'm going to play for you. I want to know what you guys think. But she also lets it be very clear that the network did not protect her. Let's get into some pop culture news for today. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on breaking news when I go live and when I upload brand new videos or shorts for you to take a look at. Let's get into it. Now, as I mentioned, on her social, Kenya had posted that she was going to be doing a confessionals. Remember, she was not allowed to do confessionals with the show. So basically, finally bringing her perspective to the forefront, and she had chosen to do it directly on her own YouTube channel. She actually started a new channel, not the old one that we are familiar with. So her confessionals is up. I've been reviewing it all morning, and I want to jump into some key moments. So let's watch a little bit of it together. I think she really does come with a lot of receipts and make some excellent points in regards to what happened. Now, I don't think that Kenya actually does take accountability. There's something about the way that she is phrasing her quote unquote accountability that just doesn't sit well with me, but I want to hear what you guys think as well. So let's get started in taking a look in regards to how she starts her confessional.
You want to know what I really think happened? I think that when she was interviewing for Real Housewives of Atlanta, she wanted the villain role. She wanted to come after me because she felt like, okay, well, Portia wasn't there at the time. I was, right? And I believe that she made them promises that she was going to come after me. She was going to be this girl that could read, this girl that was doing all this, you know. And when she met me, Portia flushed this out. She was surprised and thrown off that I was so nice.
Now, that is very possible. And the thing that's interesting about The Real Housewives of Atlanta is because it's been on for so long, it will be extremely challenging for them to find people that have not seen the show. Or maybe if they have not necessarily seen the show, they recognize the thems of the show. And what I mean by that is there's certain people that are on these shows that everybody knows them. You know Nene Leakes, you know her, whether or not you watch the show or not. You definitely will know Kenya Moore. You'll know a Teresa. You'll know a Bethany Frankel. You're going to know a Kyle Richards over in Beverly Hills. So there are names that are large enough from these platforms that you will definitely know. And who Kenya is referring to is she's saying that Brit Eady made these promises to the producers of the show when she was coming on. Now, let's go ahead and jump into a little bit more as to whether or not Brit Eady had a weapon that night. Now, we've talked about this on my TikTok. I'm under the exact same name, so make sure you find me and make sure you follow there. I play all of the clips of Brit Eady breaking down for you guys what she said happened versus what was shown on TV, what she had on her socials, everything. Kenya kind of alludes to that as well. So let's talk about it. Did Brittany have a pow 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 as she alleged? Let's get into it.
She said that wasn't her character. She did not threaten anyone with she did not have a she never said anything about so we know that that was a complete lie. So we already know you're a liar. We already know she's capable of lying and trying to rig the game. Let's go back to this whole Watch What Happens live interview where Andy asked her, did she have a gun? And she said, oh no, I didn't have a gun. Well, I have proof otherwise. Nobody checked.
Well, that is a bombshell accusation here, you guys. She is saying that she has proof that indeed Brit Eady does or did have a weapon that night. She kind of goes into the idea that, listen, nobody checks their bags, nobody checks purses, you know, when they come to film. So her saying that she didn't have a weapon, a pow 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 that night, and now Kenya saying she can prove otherwise, I think is very, very substantial, very substantial. Now, one of the other things that I always thought when I first saw Kenya doing the Tamara Halls and doing all the press in the beginning, so before the show started, my first concern was Kenya was saying that she was threatened. And the next thing that she does from her is a retaliation standpoint, which is exactly what happened at the salon. But why didn't she go to producers? If you were feeling unsafe, and regardless of whatever the case may be, you guys, this is still their job. So they are in a pseudo professional environment, maybe a little different from yours and mine, but it is a professional environment. So I questioned in the beginning, well, why didn't she go to producers? Well, she makes it very clear what happened with that. So let me go ahead and play that clip for you.
Answer is I did. I did go to producers. Number one, when we were there, Portia and I stayed back while everyone was leaving, and Brit Eady was irate. She was yelling and screaming, and it was then that I heard her say the following words. That's why I keep a for like you. Let me repeat that. You didn't hear it. I heard it. It didn't make the edit. That's why I keep a for like you. Yelling and screaming as she's going out, irate. I heard things knocking around. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And I immediately went to the showrunner, the executive producer, and I said, what is going on? Why is she talking about what is happening? Like, Portia can tell you that. She saw.
Okay. So she's letting us know very clearly that she did go to producers. So that answers that. It's such an interesting way what they've chosen to do with the show in regards to Kenya and Brit Eady. With Kenya no longer being present on the show, but Brit Eady is present on the show. It's very clear that they considered one offense greater than the other. Now, overwhelmingly in my comments, not only on my YouTube channel, but also on my TikTok, people are in agreement that they do believe that Kenya's was more grievous than Brit Eady's. And I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Did you think one outweighed the other? At the end of the day, they were both at work. And she makes a great analogy in her video here is if you walked into your job or I walked into my job and I said, you know, exactly what Brit Eady said to one of my coworkers, or you said it to one of your coworkers, and you went to HR, would you not expect something to be done? Why would you take that as something light? Especially, of course, you never know with people these days. And this is somebody that could be a stranger, like in her instance, but they chose to punish Kenya. Now, one of the things that I thought was a possibility, I've been hearing a lot of content creators talk about it, and I talked about it a little bit on my TikTok, is maybe she will at least be at the reunion, so that she would have a chance to have a conversation. Because remember, before she did those poster boards, when Brit Eady came into the salon, she left before everything started, but when she came into the salon, Brit Eady came in to apologize. And Kenya never got that opportunity, although she's been apologizing kind of on multiple platforms. But she kind of mentions here that she already knows kind of what the reunion is going to be, and she breaks it down for us whether or not she's going to be included. Let me jump into that piece for you.
I was invited and then disinvited a few months ago. The disrespect is insane. You know, from me being someone who has always loved Real Housewives of Atlanta and always.
And I think Kenya has also done a lot for the show. She's going to talk about how she's always rooted for them to win and how they are seemingly trying to just erase her from the franchise. They didn't include her a lot in any of the episodes that she was in. They removed her when all of this happened. And then also, she's not even in the opening credits at all when it comes to how the opening season starts. So it's just an interesting way that they're choosing to deal with it. Now, in regards to her apology, I'm going to play that for you real quick.
I should not have done it at my salon, this beautiful salon I've worked so hard for, that spent a lot of money on, that money that could have been spent in other areas, including supporting my child. Sure. So yes, I am very sorry that I shared the photos because it wasn't right, but I did not break the law. And I'm very sorry for what I did.
So there you have it. Let me know if you believe that that is an apology. The thing that's interesting with her statement there is she seems to be apologizing for having it in her salon. She did say she was sorry, but it seems like there was still some justification in there. We all know she's mentioned before that the salon is going to be kind of what she's leaving for Brooklyn. She spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in that salon. To pick that moment to do this as a retaliation just was poor judgment on her part. And at the end of the day, even though she may have felt justified, I'm sure in a lot of ways she's regretting it now. And the bottom line is she just took it too far. Now, let me know what you guys think. In regards to the whole Kenya Moore and Brit Eady, did you want to see Brit Eady also removed from the show? Would you like to see Kenya Moore on the reunion, although she says that she's not going to be included? Or would you like her to be on season 17 with a fresh start? Let's get to it in the comments.